Good morning, afternoon, and evening, ladies and gentlemen of the internet. Welcome back.
Guess who's back?
Finally, to another episode of the RookieMode podcast. It's been a month since we last uploaded at this point, just because of extracurricular things that took up our time. We're back. There's a lot that's happened in the world of sports, Titans, Predators, everything, video games. So we got a lot to talk about today. Hope y'all are excited for this ride.
Yeah, let's get right into it.
So, as most people at this point that listen to us know, the Predators are out of the playoffs.
Sadly.
How long has this been? When was the last game, technically? Because right now, as we're recording this, it is June 23rd, Wednesday, 2021.
The last game.
I feel like it just feels like forever ago because it's like it was the first round, and then we're already in the East/Western Conference Finals for
The last game was May 27th.
Has been a month at this point.
Yeah, almost.
That's crazy. But yeah, as of now, Montreal is up 3-2 on Vegas. Allez, Montreal. Because we want Shea Weber to win a cup. Absolutely. And then the Lightning are up 3-2 on the Islanders.
Yep.
Yeah, that sucks. I'd like to see the Islanders win just because of Barry Trotz. But if it's not those two, I hope it's... I mean, I don't really have a specific dog in the rest of the playoffs, but it would be nice to see Shea Weber win a cup.
Yeah, my two ideal candidates would also be the Islanders and the Canadiens. There's a lot of good players, except for Corey Perry on the Canadiens. There's Carey Price. He's been crazy this series.
He's the whole reason they got this far, basically.
Shea Weber, of course. Paul Byron is crazy. I mean, if you go back and watch the highlights, I mean, he's a I don't know what the word is, but he's just a very energetic person. Mm-hmm. He celebrates really well. He's just into the game and he's excited. He's playing, doing his favorite thing to do, and he's loving it.
Yeah, I can't say that I'd be upset if Tampa Bay won just because it's kind of, even though we're like division rivals or whatever, it's hard to root against them just because they're just so freaking good. It's just yeah, it sucks that they're in the same division as us, but at the same time, it's just it's very obvious that they're probably the best team left at this point. I saw earlier this morning that Braden Point is the second player ever to score to record 2 points in 8 straight postseason games, which I thought was very impressive. I mean, if you're only the second player ever to do something, then it's a pretty freaking impressive achievement. So he's really good.
Yeah, the Lightning are good. They've always had a bunch of players. I mean, I think we either talked about it at the beginning of the playoffs. That's probably would have been the time we talked about it, but. Talking about the Lightning, I mean, they have so many players. They have Kucherov, Stamkos. They're actually over cap right now, which a lot of people disagree with, especially the Hurricanes, because, they complain about everything, the bums they are.
Rob Brind'Amour did not deserve to win Coach of the Year.
Did he?
He did. He won.
Yeah, that team's trash. I mean...
they were supposed to be pretty good.
Literally, the next game after they eliminate us, I saw people complaining about the first game they had against whoever it was. I guess it was
the Lightning,
Tampa. Yeah, they were talking about how they're over cap. It's like cry more, you're gonna get knocked out. Because I mean, it's just I have after this year I have zero respect for any Carolina fan. I'm sorry, but it's a joke. I mean, Preds every team complains about a little thing every now and then, but. I mean, you're the favorite to win, and you're complaining. I don't want to hear it. I really don't. I mean,
when we won our first game of the series, when we made it 2-1, the first thing, the only thing I ever saw that Rob Brind'Amour after the press conference was, oh well, it's we have to play against the Predators and the refs at this point. But it's just dude, we went into 4 straight games of overtime, and those first 2 that we won went into double overtime. If you can't score 1 goal in almost 40 extra minutes of hockey, that is your fault. It's not the refs.
Yeah, it's not the refs.
And I'd say that if the Predators were complaining about it, because you have almost an extra game worth of time to score one time,
and
one single goal.
I'm also sure that there were a couple times they had. Oh, I mean, not sure. There's 100% was times in regulation when it didn't go into overtime, where they had a power play and they didn't score. So I mean, you are on. And
it's not like our power play is some monster that everyone's afraid of that the refs are giving. It's like we scored, 2 power play goals all series.
Yeah, so I mean, you can't complain about the refs, but it's like...
So they complained about at the time when he did that, I think we were 2-12 on the power play, which isn't good.
That's like
it's not horrific.
That's like your mom telling you that your little brother gets a chance to hit you because you hit him, and you're going to complain about it and be like, really? And just throw a hissy fit about it.
And it's like, your brother's 6 years old. What's he actually going to do?
He's like 2, yeah. So, I mean, it's a joke. Like I said, I have zero respect for Canes fans anymore. There's a couple franchises that I don't really have respect for, and it's Chicago, Pittsburgh, and
Carolina,
and I think Blues are up there too. But I mean, I don't know if I said Vegas. Vegas is kind of up there because they think they are lifelong hockey fans when they've been in the league for less than 5 years. Yeah. So I don't really want to hear it.
And they've never been bad either, which is also just kind of like.
I'll be honest.
I wouldn't say it's unfortunate, but it's just like.
I'll be honest.
When the Predators first came into the league, they were the worst team for a few years.
Yeah, I'll be honest. It's a little frustrating. That's not why I'm mad about them. I mean, it is.
That's why my dad doesn't like them. It's just because they never had that awkward period of being a terrible team. They just happened to fleece every NFL GM in the expansion draft because no one was prepared for it.
But I mean, I think we had a good run. We performed much better than a lot of people thought we would.
I don't think anyone expected us to go deeper than the first round of the playoffs anyway. So it's like, it doesn't sting that much. It's just unfortunate that Carolina is who Carolina is, but they got eliminated by the Lightning. So
I remember our second to last game against the Hurricanes. I screenshotted somebody's comment because as you do, I also keep receipts
just in case.
Yes, just in case. And this guy was like, he responded to some Preds fan, and they were like, "It's okay, your team can do blah 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 on the golf course next week or something." Like that. I'm like, "Yeah, it'll come back to bite you."
But all right, y'all can too. A week after.
Yeah, that's funny.
So. It was right after they got eliminated by the Lightning. In 5 games, I think they lost 4-1.
Oh, I don't even know. That makes it even better.
I think it was 4-1 series Tampa Bay, but right after they right after the last game ended, I saw Will Compton he's a free agent right now, but busting with the boys. He was just games. He immediately started talking crap on Twitter, which I appreciated. It was just like. Because someone made, like a Canes fan was just like, oh, it's like, raise a banner to this Nashville or whatever. So he responded to that right out, because that was posted right after we lost. But then right after the Canes lost, he retweeted it, quote tweeted. It was just like, this aged pretty well, didn't it?
Dang. The boy.
I'd have to go find it, but he became a pretty big Preds fan throughout the last year or so. It's funny to see him talk that on Twitter.
And you haven't heard a single thing from Canes fans since. Mm-mm. And I'm sure there's Preds fans out there still talking trash because, I mean, that's just who this city is. I mean, I make it a point to, for those that don't know, I have season tickets to the games, and I do not leave early unless I have a reason to have to be somewhere else. I don't leave games early, and to this day, I still won't leave games early. And we've actually come back. We've been down 1 goal, and one time, I think it was this season, we came back and tied the game or even won, and it might have been against Carolina.
Yeah.
Or something. I don't know. I could have swore it was a red jersey.
When me and my parents went to the Lightning game in February or something, I don't remember what it was, but we got up 7-2. My dad was like, there's 5 minutes left. Let's just go ahead and go. I think this game's over.
Yeah, I don't do that.
Yeah, but we also had to get back to our parking spot too, so we got there with 2 minutes left. So if we had stayed, we probably would not have made it within the time, but I was not upset leaving up 7-2 because I was like,
you had a meter parking spot?
Over. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, it was it was one of those just one of those parking spots in Nashville.
Oh, I know you're talking about.
3-hour parking for $20 or something.
It's I don't care how long Carolina the franchise has been around. I've never seen Carolina fans do anything compared to Nashville.
I didn't even realize they had won a Stanley Cup.
Back
in 2005 or something.
Yeah, I did, but I mean, it's their team's been irrelevant ever since.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's like up until last year with like the whole bunch of jerks thing, it was just like I never really paid any attention to them.
Yeah, they had like either tied for or one of the lowest attendances in the NHL for a while. So I mean, and then they show up and act like they've known hockey for the whole life. And I don't want to hear it. Sorry, Preds fans have filled the building since the year we started, and you're not changing my mind. So, but like I said, I think we had a good run. We performed better than what everyone thought we did. I mean, it's not, and it's also not. I don't think it's a knock against the team to say we expect to be out in the first round. It's just we knew the chemistry wasn't there. We knew we had some injuries. I mean, hell, the Borowiecki guy, the guy that's bald and has almost no teeth. I mean, he's been out for literally, I don't even know how long. It's how it's been.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's been out forever.
I mean, even if our entire roster was just completely healthy, I don't see us doing that well. I mean, we may have been able to squeak out a first round victory against Carolina, but there's no way we're going to beat Tampa, especially with how they manhandled the Canes after they beat us.
I think if we made it, I don't know. I'm basically in my mind, I'll never give up on the team until the last buzzer rings and we're walking out of the stadium.
But you gotta be realistic about it too. It's just like I want them to win, but it's just like we're down 3-1 with 2 minutes left in the third. The series is 3-1 right now. It was a good year.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big probability person, so it's like if we're down, like you said, 3-1, and we have 10 minutes to go, I'm like, all right, we're still in this. Like it's might as well be an even game. And then 5 minutes to go, we're down still 3-1. I'm like, okay, well, we can get one goal. If we get one goal here soon, we're back in this. And then it's like 1 minute to go. It's like, well, we had a good season, but.
So we mentioned it a little bit earlier, but the expansion draft, and I've been listening to the radio, them talking about it's like who to protect in the expansion draft, and it's either, I think it's just you can do 4 and 4 forwards and 4 defensemen, or just 8 skaters total, and just like do whoever you want plus like a goalie or whatever. So I've been thinking about who we want to protect, and I think that. Just looking at the roster right now, I think that they're going to go with just the 8 skater route because there's not like 4 definite forwards that I think that we should protect absolutely on the roster. So I don't think
there's 4 defensemen either. I mean, you have Yossi.
Well, you got
you have Yossi Ellis Ekholm.
Yossi Ellis Ekholm, Fabro.
I think he might still be in his. Well, at this point, no. He's either still in his rookie contract or he just got out of it, which would make him exempt.
And then Carrier. I feel like Carrier was pretty good.
I don't think they would protect. I don't think they would use a. Well, if they go the 4-for-4 Wendy's route, then they would. I don't know though.
But if they do,
that's a big game.
Because like, what 4 forwards do you protect? Forsberg.
You're
not going to protect. I'm going to list off every single forward.
You're gonna protect either Johansson or Duchesne for sure.
Do you though?
You're gonna protect one of them.
Because like okay, I'm going to list off.
Well, I see the strategy you're talking about.
This is all the forwards right now. I'm going to list them. Say yes or no. Who you like? No maybes. Yes or no. Okay. Viktor Arvidsson.
Yes.
Really?
I would say so. Yeah.
Really?
To see his work ethic. I mean, people. My mom and some radio hosts called him the Energizer Bunny for the longest time because he has the work ethic. He
absolutely does, but he's also small and he's hurt a lot too. And when it's like when everybody on Tampa Bay is at least like 6'2", him being 5'9" is a detriment to the team, no matter how good he has been in the past.
I don't know. I see his work ethic.
Like, you can have as much work ethic as you want, but you can't outwork being 5'9", 180 versus a guy who's 6'2", 220.
All right, let's keep going.
All right, Nick Cousins.
No.
Matt Duchene.
We'll say. Well, should I? Should I do it this way? I'll write down the names that I might, and then we'll look at that list over again. Okay, well, we'll have Duchesne and Arvidsson as of now.
Okay. Forsberg. Yes. Granlund.
Maybe. We'll just put him on the list to look at later.
Grimaldi.
See, he's like Arvidsson, but he doesn't have
5'6".
He doesn't
he's even
have
shorter.
He doesn't have as much, or at least I haven't seen it, as much skill as Arvidsson. So I would say no.
Eric Holla.
Depending on how his contract is, no. I would say no, actually. Not even considering the contract.
Yarncroke.
No.
Tanner Jeannot's a rookie, so.
Did it say Tolvanen's a rookie?
Tolvanen would be a rookie as well. Johansson, you already said.
Maybe.
Luke Cunnin.
No.
McCarron.
No.
Olivier.
No.
Pitlick is a rookie as well. Yeah. Brad Richardson, no. Sissons.
No.
Tomasino's a rookie. And Yakov Trenin.
No.
All right.
So we have Granlund, Johansson, Forsberg, Arvidsson. Who else?
Arvidsson, Duchesne, Forsberg.
Oh, Duchesne.
Granlund, Johansson.
I think we have 5 on the list right now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that right there, you only have to cut off one person. So you have the Joe Faline, Duchesne, and Granlund.
Mm-hmm. So now...
Honestly, Granlund's played good this year, but I would say if you look at all those people, look at their contracts, whoever has the shortest contract would probably be high up on the list to not protect because then you're just losing out.
Yeah.
You could lose out on both the person you didn't protect and then that person also.
All right, so now for defense, Matt Benning.
No, for those, if we're doing 4, you'd do Yossi Ellis Ekholm. I know one of their contracts, I think, was up this season. I think
it was Ellis.
I feel like...
No, it was Ekholm. Ellis has like 6 years left or something. And Ekholm was up after this year, I believe.
Well, I don't know of any other names we would really protect. I mean,
not Borowiecki.
I mean, at that point,
not Jeremy Davies.
At that point, you would either protect Fabro or Carrier. Because, if they have the option to protect Ekholm or Ellis,
David Ferentz and Tyler... Is Lewington a rookie?
They haven't played, no.
Right, so...
Ferentz maybe played in he got signed like a month ago.
Ferentz is younger than I am. Wow. Okay.
Tolvanen is too, because he's my age. He was born in
99.
January. Yeah, January 99.
May of 99.
Oh, I thought it was January.
Not May. April 22nd, 1999.
Dang, I wonder if that's why he wears 28. That's wild. Did you say 28th of
22nd?
Oh, okay. Well, never mind. Ignore that.
Yeah. I think it's if you're going 4-4, I'd go Forsberg. See, I just don't like Duchesne or Johansson's contract for how they perform in the regular season. Yeah, they both showed up.
You could, I think
they both showed up decently well in the playoffs, but it's just can you take 82 games of barely anything for $8 million a year?
Well, I think I thought you were going into this, but what you could do is, now hear me out. You don't protect either of those people. And they can only take one, so they take one of those people, and you're like, okay, well because you don't have to use either. You were either going to use one already, or use both of them, and now you save both those saves for 2 other people, and they take one.
Or you could be like, hey, we'll give you someone else if you take on Duchesne's contract as well, because there's no way that
they can do deals that are we'll give you Carrier to not take Duchesne.
Exactly.
That's not what the trade is going to be, but
everyone's saying that it's just they're probably going to have to deal the Predators are probably going to have to deal something to if they want to get rid of either Duchesne or Johansson's contract, just because it's so bad right now, and their production over the past couple of years has been lackluster to say the least.
But when you sit down and look at the list, there's really not that many people you would protect, because the people you're wanting to protect are star players. And, there's really not that many. You have those 5 forwards, and you have the 3 defensemen. So, that's 8,
I'd go...
You could do the 8 total.
I'd do 8 skaters, and then go Yossi, Ekholm, Ellis, Carrier, Fabro if he's not on his rookie contract anymore, which I'm not sure if he isn't or Forsberg, I really can't see. Is the goalie in the 8th skater as well?
No, he's not considered a skater.
Okay.
So you would get a freebie for that one.
So yeah, obviously, Saros for that.
So for there's Granlund's contract runs out at the end of the 2021 season, so he's a free agent, I guess, now. Or he would be at the end of the season. Same thing for Tanner Jeannot, actually. He's a RFA. Olivier's an RFA. Brad Richardson's an RFA. Tolvanen. Oh, wow. Tolvanen's contract runs out. Wait. Am I reading? Where's it at? Oh.
Philip Tomasino was born in 2001. What in the world? That's weird.
So you might have to protect Tolvanen, really, because his contract runs out at the end of this season. Dang.
Yeah, so if that's the case, then it would be...
Fabro's contract runs out around the same time.
So if that's the case and we have to protect Fabro and Tolvanen, I go Fabro, Tolvanen, Forsberg, Ekholm, Ellis, Yossi.
And Yuse's contract runs out, but we'll protect him and sign him. I don't think he would go anywhere.
Yeah.
Plus we have Asper.
Yossi, Ekholm, Ellis, Forsberg, Tolvanen, Fabro. I don't know. I don't know exactly how it works. I that's the problem. Is like I can't think of 8 total people that I just like. We need to keep these 8 guys on the roster right now. Obviously, you said Arvidsson and
would be star players and young
players
stars
that you want to extend.
Yeah, I mean, because Tolvanen, there's no question. Fabro, I'm sorry, but I don't like the dude. He's not. I don't think he's that good. Honestly, we should have kept Gerard over him. People say Fabro has a lot of potential, and he may have the work ethic off ice, but I just don't see the skill on the ice. And Gerard...
He was also thrust into a top 4 position, like, right after PK Subban left, too.
Gerard was, like, his first season, he was, like, I mean, he's still... You can look up Gerard.
I know you showed me before.
It's just crazy, man. I knew when we made that trade, I was like, I'm going to hate Fabro, and Gerard's going to be a star, but here we are.
Oh, well... Well, we will see. Do you know when they're supposed to have those finalized about like protecting?
I thought soon. I thought sometime this month or beginning.
I don't know when the expansion draft is or when the actual draft
July
is.
July 21st, so next month around this time.
Okay.
I thought it was earlier, but
do you know when they're supposed to have the lists in of like this is who we protected?
Excuse me. Probably within that week, because I mean the expansion draft. On the night of the expansion draft, I'm sure they would already have the list of the Kraken like operation. Whoever's the head of drafting or the GM, but the Kraken GM would probably have the list the night before, and he'd be able to plan.
Yeah. Doesn't Vegas not have to protect anybody? Like they're not choosing from Vegas's roster just because there's still such a.
I haven't heard any of that news.
I could have sworn I heard that somewhere. I don't know if there's any merit to that, but I feel like I heard that somewhere.
It wouldn't surprise me, but at the same time, that would annoy me.
Oh, absolutely. Because I mean, they're 4 years old at this point.
Vegas.
Their first season was 2017. Pretty sure I heard somewhere that they're exempt from the expansion draft because they were founded such a short time ago.
Vegas is exempt.
Yep.
Each team has one of 2 options: 7 forwards, 3 defense, 1 goalie, or 8 skaters, non-goalies, and 1 goalie. So you'd have 7 forwards and 3 defense.
There's not 7 forwards on our roster that I want to protect.
But you only have 3.
Exactly, only 3 defensemen.
Because if you do the first option, you have
2 more players,
9,
but
yeah.
You have a limited amount of, or you have more.
That's probably the route we'll go, I bet.
The 7 forwards?
Yeah, because we only have 3 defensemen. Granted, yeah, Fabro, but
What about Carrier? He was really good. There's no way that we do 7. There's not 7 forwards worth protecting on our roster right now.
Well, there was a couple maybes.
There's
those
4
5.
or 5.
There's those
Maybe
five, and then Tolvanen and Grimaldi.
I don't see, like, Grimaldi is just like, yeah, he's fine, but it's just like, is he going to help us win a Stanley Cup? Like, legitimately? No, I don't think so.
I don't know. It's
like, yeah, like, all of these players can have their moments, but at the same time, you have to look long-term in the future. It's just like, can you legitimately win with this group of guys? And we've proven the past 4 years that that's not the case, because Poyle's tried to keep the whole team together as much as possible, and we just keep getting worse and worse and worse.
I heard on the radio after we lost in the playoffs that apparently the players again told Poyle, well, we like the group we have. Like, don't tell me that again.
You're not winning with the group you have. Yeah, you can like each other, but
that's what I heard.
I mean, that's great for y'all, but it's not great for the fans. Well, if they want to keep being mediocre and barely squeaking into the playoffs, then go ahead to keep the group together, but it's going to be the same stuff every year if that's the case. We're going to have this conversation next year. Who are they going to protect? Who's not worth saving? I don't know. Our roster isn't built for a championship right now because the best player is Forsberg, and he's a star on the best night, not a superstar like Connor McDavid or someone like that.
Yeah, I think if we could get like one, because I think when other teams look at us, they're like, who's their best players? And they go, well, Forsberg is probably a threat sometimes. That's about it.
Mm-hmm.
But then you look at the Lightning, and it's like, well, Stamkos and Kucherov and Vasilevsky and Hedman, which other teams may look at Yossi too. I forget about
they have that. Lightning have 2 whole lines of number ones on their team of legit starting guys, which is about 5.
Who's the other 3? Well, they have Kucherov, Stamkos, Point. Point's a center, though, so that's 2 centers and 1 wing. Who's the other 3 wingers?
I just feel like Tampa Bay is really deep. Hold on, I have to look up their roster.
I mean, they are.
I feel like because I don't really follow anybody outside the Predators, and I feel like I know a lot of names on the Lightning. If that's the case, then, yeah, Sergachev is good. I feel like if that's the case, then it's just like, okay. I just feel like Tampa Bay is just really freaking good. And they have exactly what it takes to win another Stanley Cup. They have big, fast forwards who can beat you up if they need to. They have one of the best goalies in the league, and they have a solid defense. We have a top goalie in the league, but we have maybe one guy who's a threat to score at any given point, and that's maybe Forsberg on a good night. We don't have the firepower to compete as of now. Tolvanen, maybe. His future looks bright, but at the same time, he's had not even a full season, and he was hurt for like half of it, so.
I think he had a chance to come back in the Calder race if he wasn't hurt. I don't know, actually, because I think he was still like 13 points or goals behind Kaprizov, which he's
who doesn't even want to play for the Wild anymore, which is funny.
They thought they were going to be relevant again. Now they're not.
How does that work? Because like, if he's a rookie, does he want to go back to Russia or something? Because he was with KHL.
He's not. He's a rookie, but he's not a rookie as according to like his contract, because I think his contract's up. He was drafted, I think, in like 2015.
Oh wow!
I'm pretty sure
this was his first like year in the league then, like actually playing, because he's in the Calder race. So.
I think if you have a 2-way contract, which he might have had, you can not play game. You can play less than 17 games. I don't know the actual number, but you can play less than a certain amount of games. It might be 11 games in the NHL, and you can still be considered a rookie.
Because that's how Tolvanen, he played in like 3 or 4 total games before this season.
And that was also he was a rookie, like he was
drafted in like 2017.
He was an actual rookie before the Golden Knights drafted.
Yeah.
So we didn't have to protect him because and I think Poyle did that strategically also because they're like, well, the Golden Knights are coming in, we want to keep him as a rookie by the books, so we don't have to protect him and worry about him. So
yeah, that's the state of the Predators at this point. We'll see more what happens when the expansion draft happens, who they get stolen by Seattle, and who we decide. When is the draft?
Probably be. It might be the night after the expansion, or like the weeks after. Within the next weeks after the expansion draft, because usually they do expansion draft and the normal draft.
Yeah.
That way teams know what they have and don't.
I wonder when next season's gonna start. Because like this,
They said they were gonna try to start in October.
Ooh, so like on time, like a normal season.
Oh yeah, that's what I heard. And it was gonna be an 80.
Away.
And it was gonna be 82, I think.
There's gonna be like the Stanley Cup is gonna be played in early July, and then Tampa Bay is gonna have to turn right around in less than 3 months and start playing again. That's weird.
Screw 'em.
Oh well.
Don't care.
More time off for the Predators, I guess, to recuperate.
Or do whatever they're doing that's not improving in hockey. But I think that's all we got for the Preds. Hopefully we have a better year next year. I mean, you can always say that.
Hope. We're just in a weird gray area right now, unfortunately. Like, Matt always says the Titans and the Predators can never be great simultaneously. And that just seems to be the case at this point.
Which they didn't. The Titans didn't make it that far this past year either. So
No.
I thought the Preds were gonna blow out.
They didn't. The Titans didn't make it that far, but like this was the best Titans team that I've seen in a while. So, other than the defense, but
Oh, now you're saying. So you're saying the Preds probably won't be good next year?
I'm not saying they won't be good, but I'm just saying like Matt, our friend Matt Lisk, who's we know through Harold, but he just always says that like the Predators and the Titans can never be good simultaneously, which in most years kind of is the case.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
I mean, if it's true, then it's true, but I'd rather have at least one great team and one be not as good than have two mediocre teams. Speaking of the Titans, Julio freaking Jones, my favorite player that wasn't a Tennessee Titan outside of Thomas Edward Patrick Brady II, is now a Tennessee Titan. Julio.
Are you gonna shout that when he gets a touchdown?
Yes, every single time. But Julio freaking Jones. Y'all saw my Snapchat story when I heard the news. It was fantastic. Rachel's laughing right now because I hit my head on our overhead light, jumping for joy on a Saturday at 11:30 p.m. a.m. Literally just watching YouTube. I think I was waiting for my lunch to cook, and all of a sudden I see second and a fourth round pick, Julio Jones to the Titans, and I just lost my marbles. That I was so happy. And I still am very, very happy because I love Julio Jones. Ever since it was the Falcons and the Patriots at the Super Bowl, and he made the toe tap sideline catch in the fourth quarter, which I thought sealed the game for the Falcons to win it. Obviously, that didn't happen, but I remember tweeting on my old personal account that no longer exists anymore. I tweeted right when I saw it. I was like, Julio Jones is the greatest wide receiver I've ever seen. That was in Super Bowl 51, which was at this point 4-5 years ago. Damn, that's weird. When I saw it, I was like, he's the greatest wide receiver I've ever seen. Obviously, like you can go back and watch videos of like Randy Moss and all of them, but it's different when you see it live happen. That's what I mean when I see it's like he's the greatest wide receiver I have ever seen play live in a game, and now he's on our team.
This would be like
along with AJ Brown.
This would be like the hockey equivalent of this because I like watching like Russian hockey players, and like if we got like Artemi Panarin on the Predators, I would just like I would buy a jersey like now. Yeah,
I still need to buy a Julio jersey.
You haven't.
I'm surprised at myself that I haven't yet. But like I was
fan.
Yeah, I know. But I am going to buy a Tulio jersey. That's what I'm calling him, Tennessee Tulio.
A custom?
No, because his numbers too. I'm not going to get Tulio on the back. No,
I just figured you were trying to start a trend or something.
No, but like I mean, if I could, I'm calling him Tennessee Tulio right now because that's what his number is.
Start that hashtag. We might get trending.
Hashtag Tulio. Yeah. But yeah, just seeing him and Derrick Henry beside each other weren't 22-2. It just looked so right. It just looked so
I
good.
thought that was funny, the whole 2 times 11 is 22.
Yeah,
I thought that was funny.
That was good. But, oh, man. Just thinking about what this offense is going to be, oh, man.
Do we draft defense, or do you think we sign? What do you think we do for defense?
Well, that's what we did for most of the draft. We addressed corner.
Oh, the draft. That's right. Because
the draft has already happened. We had an episode. We had an episode.
I'm on NHL time. So
yeah. We had just. I mean, like, I don't have many expectations for the defense because, I mean, granted, they can't be worse than last year.
We outscored opponents last year. Now we're really going to outscore them.
Yes, exactly. Which is more fun to watch anyway.
Oh, yeah.
So, but it's just like literally, what are you going to do to stop our offense? Barring, obviously, knock on wood, barring injury, because this is all assuming that no one's going to get hurt. So, like, let's say you want to stack like 9 people in the box to stop Derrick Henry. All right, both Julio and AJ are going to be one-on-one with some poor cornerback 2 who has to guard either AJ Brown or Julio Jones.
Yeah. You don't, unless you have two-star cornerbacks.
But it's like for whatever reason, if they stack 9 in the box, which is I wouldn't recommend doing that regardless of who you're playing. But it's just like, all right, let's just max protect real quick, send Julio and AJ up the field, and one of them's going to get it. Easy.
LBX literally, up on the left stick.
Exactly.
LB.
Well, they changed it in 21.
I haven't played 21. So.
I don't remember what it was, but they like something to do with like the bumpers or whatever. It was just an unnecessary change. But so you stack 8 in the box. It's basically the same thing, except there's just one high safety. And then it's
one's going to be only one-on-one.
Yeah, if someone's going to be one-on-one, the other's going to be double, either throw it up to single coverage or, like, Derrick Henry has shown the ability to run through 8-man boxes before. That's what he made his money off of in the playoffs 2 years ago and then basically all of last year. And then it's like, okay, only 7 in the box. This is easier for Derrick Henry. Or it's like if both AJ and Julio are double covered, Josh Reynolds is probably going to be the best third wide receiver in the NFL this year. I was comfortable with him being the number 2 before we traded for Julio because I was like, okay, Josh Reynolds is pretty good.
Was he on the Rams?
Yes. Okay. He was number 3 behind Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods. And he had a career year last year. I feel like...
Isn't he going to be our speed guy probably?
I don't think we don't have specifically a speed guy, but it's just like all of our wide receivers are like at least 6'2". I'm pretty sure the shortest one... is the rookie we drafted, Des Fitzpatrick, who's like 6'1". Or maybe just one of the number 5 or 6 guys on the depth, maybe a bit shorter, but like every wide receiver on the roster is like 6'2", 210, 220. So they're just gonna outmuscle and bully people and take their lunch money every Sunday.
Take their lunch money.
That's what they're gonna end up doing. That's because like they're gonna out physical literally everyone. So it's like if you are able to double both Julio and AJ, then that leaves it open for Josh Reynolds and the boy Anthony Ferkser, who I think is going to be very good this year. I know everyone's like, oh, that's his Twitter Twitter handle, ASAP Ferk.
This man is a clown.
I'm not joking. I love Anthony Ferkser though. He stepped up real big when they basically put Jonnu Smith as a extra offensive lineman all of last year. But I know he's like...
What happened to Jonnu Smith?
He went to New England.
Okay.
Signed as a free agent in New England, 4 years, $50 million. Him and Hunter Henry are going to be a good tight end duo for Mac Jones. Mac and cheese, as Cam Newton calls him. But yeah, Anthony Ferkser, I know it's like, people see it's like, oh, Anthony Ferkser is the tight end 1, and it's just kind of like, he can't really run block that well, but honestly, it's like I feel like he's going to improve in his run blocking ability. But I look at this offense and it's like, barring injuries again, knock on wood, but the offensive line's going to be healthy. Lawan, Saffold are going to be 100% hopefully this year. The only legitimate question on the entire offense is right tackle, just because like we cut Dennis Kelly, drafted a rookie, signed a couple of free agents, so it's like there's going to be
some competition.
There's going to be some competition at right tackle, but I think that's good for whoever eventually gets the starting job because they know it's like right behind them. It's like it's either this rookie's trying to take my job or this free agent they signed who has a 1-year deal is trying to take my job. So as far as the offense goes, I mean, again, the only thing stopping that offense from scoring 30 points a game is injuries. As for the defense, there's way more question marks on the defense than there are offense because up front, I'm somewhat confident about the trenches. Jeffrey Simmons, Danico Autry, some good depth guys, Laurel Murchison, who was a rookie last year, Tyre Tart, who was also a rookie last year. But I feel like the defensive linemen, aka like D ends or D tackles, the big boys, they're gonna be pretty all right this year. I think adding Danico Autry is gonna make Jeffrey Simmons into a superstar because he needed someone to take a little bit of the load off. Because like when it was his rookie year and he was playing with Jarrell Casey, he was really freaking good, and he was good last year too. But he didn't have anybody. He was just getting double all the time. He didn't have anybody to alleviate some of that off of him. The biggest question, I think, this year is going to be the outside linebackers, which, I mean, it's Harold Landry. I believe in Harold Landry. I think he's a really good player, but he has had no help the past couple of years, at least at edge rusher, because like last year, Vic Beasley and Jadeveon Clowney, and I've beat both of those horses to the grave and back at this point. And I think everyone has and that cares about the Titans. But we drafted Rashad Weaver, who we did sign, still going through. I'm pretty sure, like, literally, 2 days after we recorded the reaction to the Titans draft is when the news came out about him, about, like, the incident he had up in Pittsburgh or whatever, where he supposedly got into a bar fight with a woman or whatever.
I'm not too sure.
So that's been kind of looming ever, like, literally right after he got drafted. It's like, oh, the story comes out. And apparently some other teams knew about it, but the Titans didn't, which is a whole nother can of worms that I don't want to get into right now. But we did sign him, so as of now, he's on the team. He's a rookie. So that's another outside linebacker. And when he got drafted and I was seeing stuff on Twitter about him, I said this in our episode about the draft, but he was my favorite pick of the draft so far. Him and Elijah Molden were my top two. Just because it's like, this kid is going to be, just all the stats I was seeing about him is like, this kid's going to be really good. So hopefully he stays out of legal trouble. Again, nobody really has any clue about what that's going to happen. But hopefully he stays out of legal trouble and then he actually plays for us. And then Bud Dupree, the big splash free agent signing that we had. Again, as long as he's healthy, then most of my concerns on defense deal with health, because our first-round draft pick, Caleb Farley, that's the big question mark around him is his health. Our big free agent signing, Bud Dupree, that's the question around him. Is he going to recover from that ACL tear? Again, if everyone's healthy, then I think the defense can at least be average.
They can keep up with at least. What is
I'm saying, like, if everyone is healthy on the defense, obviously there's going to be injuries no matter what. But if the big free agent draft signings are able to be healthy and perform, even to, like, let's say 90% of what we expect them to be, then I think that the defense will be middle of the road. And with the offense that we have, that's good enough to win a Super Bowl, because that's how it's been the past, 10 years, other than this past year with the Bucs, because the Bucs defense was just really good.
What do you think of the percentage? If you had to put a percentage on it, what do you think the chances are of the offense scoring versus the defense making a stop or keeping them to 3 points?
Like, if I had to choose, final possession, would you rather be on offense or defense?
Well, I know you'd say offense, but I'm saying like, okay, does Julio, AJ Brown, and Derrick Henry have a 80% chance to score every time they get on offense?
Oh, okay.
And does the defense have a...
Can the defense keep them out of the end zone? What's the...
Do they have a 50% chance, or do they have a 20% chance to keep them out from scoring, you know?
I think, like, I legitimately believe that, like, with that offense, that they have a legitimate chance to score every single time they get on the field.
Really?
Yeah.
I do feel like that's fair, because even if you don't have a touchdown, you've got to get within field goal range.
That's the other problem is, like, we don't really have a kicker right now either, so...
But I mean, you don't even need a.
You say that until we start missing kicks to lose games. That's the thing.
But we don't need an all-star like we did.
We don't need Justin Tucker. We just need
Sloman.
We just need. I'm trying to think of a mediocre kicker.
I think Brett Kern do it.
I mean, like, that's a legitimate, like, question. Is, like, can Brett Kern place kick if the two rookies we have right now just are awful? And if that's the case, and I think that John Robinson should be calling Steven Gostkowski right now, just be like, hey, we might need you one more year, just because.
That would be, dude.
Gostkowski would be better than.
I think he can make a very well argument. Say, hey, if you come here, I'm telling you, you're gonna get some points.
He will, like, if John Robinson called Steven Gostkowski right now, he could guarantee him the starting job as kicker for this year. Oh, yeah. Because I know from what I've heard from camp, it's just like the two kickers they have on the roster. It's like they're both rookies. I don't remember either of their names, but it's not that good. It's like, it's just not that good, unfortunately. And until you have a bad kicking situation, you don't think about needing to have a kicker. Because, like, the Ravens haven't had to think about having a kicker for the past, like, 10 years. Because Justin Tucker was on their Super Bowl team back in 2012, which I didn't realize. It's like he's been in the league for almost 10 years at this point. But, I mean, he's on his way to being the greatest kicker of all time, which is like, and
How old is he now?
This would be his either 9th or 10th season, so I think he's like 31, 32. Justin Tucker.
He's got at least 5 years.
Oh yeah, he's 31 right now. His birthday is November 21st, so he'll be 32 in the middle of the season. But I mean, Adam Vinatieri kicked till he was 47. Granted, like,
that's just being conservative, you know.
Yeah,
he's got at least.
He has like minimum like 5 years left. When you're that good of a kicker that your contract extension is breaking news in the NFL, like his contract was like 4 years, like $20 million or something, which in the grand scheme of things is not that much. But for a kicker to literally get headlines for an extension, that just shows you how good he is. And the Ravens aren't going to have to worry about their kicking game for, like you said, at least another 5 years. But now it's like, look at us. We have to basically, ever since Ryan Suckup left or got injured, really, it's just like, okay, who's going to be our kicker this week? Who's going to be the kicker? Blah, 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 blah. Because I remember when we went on, like, the run that started this back in 2019, we didn't attempt a field goal in the last, like, 7 games of the regular season. Because we didn't have to. 2, we really couldn't trust it. Mm. And we didn't kick any field goals in the Patriots or the Ravens playoff game. I don't think. No, we didn't. So, like, I think the total kicking at the end of the year that year, it was, for the whole team, we were 7 of 15 on field goals, which is by far just one of the worst seasons of kicking any team has ever seen, ever, period. And then we followed that up by having one of the worst sacking years any team has ever seen. So you don't really know what you have at kicker until it's gone. And I mean, hey, Ryan Suckup went and won a Super Bowl with the Bucs, making all but like one of his kicks last year. So that's just how it is in the life of a special teamer in the NFL. So we need to address the kicking situation. Other than that, Like, that's the one position that I really think is, like, we need to address somehow. Because everything else, like, offense, don't really need to. I mean, it would be nice to have a second tight end other than Jeff Swain, but...
Yeah, because, I mean, if you think about it, like, which I'm no Madden strategist either, but assuming the worst and we don't score a single touchdown, but we have a good enough kicker that can make a good amount of kicks, well, that right there, I mean, you can get a good amount of points just getting into field goal range. Mm-hmm. And then on the other side of the ball, you know that the defense will stop at very least every other stop, maybe. So, I mean, that right there puts you in a close enough game to be able to do something.
And there's going to be games where it's just like one, maybe two games this year where it's just like the offense just doesn't click and we just don't score. And which I hope that doesn't happen, especially with the group we have, but it's bound to happen to every single team. You're just going to lay an egg every now and then. Just that's how the nature of the game goes. Barring injuries or barring health issues, that the defense is going to be good enough to just be completely average and let the offense do what they need to do to win games, which is all we need to win a championship. Because like Kansas City Chiefs did it 2 years ago, the Patriots Rams game, that was completely defensive oriented. The year before that, 41-38 shootout. Eagles Patriots. The year before that, Falcons Patriots. There have only been a couple of years where it's just like the team with the elite defense won the Super Bowl, which was last year, and then Patriots Rams in '53. So it's like the way that the NFL's trending, it's more offensive oriented, but you have.
I feel like it's also generally just harder to play defense and get a whole stop it. I mean, because you got to think. I mean, if they get within, like the Ravens, if they get within field goal range, they're going to get points. Yeah. So, I mean, just keeping them out of field goal range is hard enough. Mm-hmm.
Unless it's Justin Tucker missed 2 kicks in the Titans playoff game this past year, which is very uncharacteristic of him. And the fact that we didn't win, it's like if you had told me that our defense last year was going to hold the Ravens to 20 points and Justin Tucker is going to miss 2 field goals. If you told me that before the game, it's a guaranteed fact that this was going to happen. I would have bet my life savings on the Tennessee Titans winning that football game. Because it's like there's no way that our crappy defense holds that team to 20 points on top of Justin Tucker missing 2 field goals, let alone 1. That's why they play the game, and that's why the NFL is the best sport in the world, in my opinion.
I think it's going to be a good year for the Titans. I hope it's going to be a great year for the Titans. I think it's going to be an okay year for the Preds.
I put $100 on the Titans winning the Super Bowl at plus 2,600.
So is that 2,600 times 100?
No, it means it's like if they were the odds were plus 2,500, but so if they win the Super Bowl, I pocket $2,600.
So what does a minus mean? Does that mean it's less likely to happen?
It's like if a team is minus 150. And you put $150 on it, you would pocket $250. Because you have to spend $150 to make $100. Now, if a team is plus $200, if you put down $100, you win $200, so you pocket $300.
But now I think that's all we have to do. All we have to say about sports.
Yes.
So we will catch you next time on the RookieMode podcast. Thanks for joining us. Hope you enjoyed.
Peace.